What's up, everybody? So today we're gonna go through how I clean this tank out. It's my mbuna tank. You guys can see these guys are a little bit hungry right now. They're letting me know. But first we're gonna clean this tank out. You can see I get a little bit of algae in the front. I'll show you how I clean that off, and show you how I do this tank. You guys see there's a big pile of rock and a tube and all that stuff going through the center of this thing. So I'm going to show you how I clean this thing up, what I do, what's underneath all this rock, so it doesn't go through that and wind up in that tank. So let me get all this rock off of here, guys. This whole process, water change on this tank is a 40-gallon breeder. It takes me about 35 minutes to do, which for me is cool. It's no big deal. I'm not doing anything anyway. But 35 minutes for all this rock, it's not too bad. And I went rock hunting today, so I picked up some more rocks. Obviously I'm not going to add any more to this, that's a lot of weight already. But I'm going to show you what all this rock is sitting on and why it's not crashed through there. And show you how I clean this thing up really fast, super easy. So let me get all the rock out of here and we'll get back to you and show you what's going on underneath this pile of monstrosity of huge rocks and lots of rocks. Gosh, that's a lot of rocks. Look at all that rocks. Alright, be right back. Alright, so before you guys start going crazy like, oh my god, that thing is filthy. Alright, here's the deal. When I pull all the rocks up, I still keep the circulation pump back there going. It's not the power head up here that runs my sump, but there's a circulation pump back there, and I know it's really hard to see, but still got that going. Not only that, but I still run the air stone while I'm doing this water change, so you guys can see the constant flow of crap. So here's what I do with this thing. I'm going to shut the circulation pump off in just a second. You guys can see right here, this is an under gravel filter that I didn't use on my 120 gallon. Now you can use like the corrugated lids like these that I use for my, or corrugated greenhouse roofing underneath. I just happened to have this laying around, so that's what I used. You want to lay this on the bottom of your tank. You guys can see it creates grooves. All the junk and crap and all that from these fish is going to sit inside these grooves. So I'm going to take the vacuum and I'm just going to go groove by groove back and forth all the way through here, pick up all the junk that you see, and then I also wanted you to notice that the sand that I have in here, this sand that I have only sits on the edge all the way around, okay? The actual sand isn't sitting inside here. So when I go to clean my tank, it makes it super easy because all I have to do is just vacuum this out and I don't have to worry about sucking up sand or anything else. I do kind of touch this up, I'll stir it up and get all the stuff out of there, but for the most part, all my stuff you can see is just sitting there, right in the middle. Works out perfect for me, makes my life super easy. This air stone I constantly run in the tank. It sits underneath the rock and it lifts all this stuff up, stirring it up into here, which goes into the power head, this guy here, and then it shoots over into my sump that I'm using. So it's kind of hard to see from the top of the tank, but anyway, you get the idea. Sand on the edges. They do have these caps right here, so when you're doing under gravel filter, this is where you would stick those things in, hook your air lines in and all that. But under gravel filters are not the greatest things in the world. They're pretty messy, so I don't use them. But just to give you an idea, top view, under gravel filter, sand just sits on the edge. All my rock sits straight onto the under gravel filter itself, so all my rocks just go in this part, and the edge of the sand just looks like it's all one piece. So makes it super easy to clean, and I'm gonna start vacuuming and I'll get with you here in a minute. I'll show you what it looks like when I get her all vacuumed up. Be right back. So while I'm waiting for this to fill up, you guys can see I just pop crazy rocks everywhere. Anyway, here's two things I want you to consider, okay? When you do anything in any fish tank, the first thing you need to consider is the well-being of the fish, okay? As far as this tank is concerned, how do I know if I'm successful? Well, you guys can see the fish dipping in and out of the rocks, going in and out, they're exploring. They don't really have time to fight and any of that stuff because there's caves that are, I mean, this is deep, so you guys can see, you know, it's a good foot deep, and there's probably 100 caves in there for them to explore. So that's the first thing. Do what's right for the animal or the fish that you're caring for. Second thing, do what you like. If you guys like 5 rocks in the tank, cool, that's your thing. I love watching these fish dip in and out. You know, you see them going on this side, and then all of a sudden you see them come out the center. That for me is cool. That's what I got these fish for, because I love watching that. As these fish grow, I do have to go with a little bit bigger rocks, and then use, you know, smaller rocks to break this stuff up. Well, another main point when you're doing this, make sure that your rocks, when you stack them, are solid, okay? In other words, this very top rock that I have here, I want to be able to move this thing and not move the pile underneath it, okay? If that rock falls, everything on here is going to come tumbling down, okay? You're going to crack your glass, you're going to have a mess, you don't want this all over your carpet, your wife will never let you have a fish tank again, I promise. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that these are solid, everything is solid when you put this in, okay? Check it, put a rock down, then kind of wiggle it. If it's loose, easy to move around, don't use it. Move it, place it to where it's going to work, okay? You guys can see I have a ton of rock in here, but I'm able to do that because of what I've got underneath that I showed you earlier in the video. So anyway, I'm gonna get the lid set up, get the other light on here, get this thing going, and I gotta get this filter running and stuff. So let me get that stuff straightened out real quick, and then I'll come back and show you the final product under some better light. Give me just a moment. So I still need to wipe down the glass. I didn't do that yet. But anyway, just to give you an eye, you know, kind of an eye of the tank when I get it completed. You guys can see the shimmer. This light that I've got up here, I've got a video before on these lights that I use, like 20 bucks at Home Depot. But you guys can see the shimmer on the rocks, the water shimmer. I love the look, it's just awesome. Fish seem to enjoy it, they do really well with this. So tank cleared up a little bit, so just kind of wanted to shoot a little video, show you, you know, what goes on. The sump that I keep talking about is this one here. I've got a video on how I built that. So I have this one, then I have another video as well with a different sump with different media. So if you guys want to check that out, awesome, cool, check it out by all means. But for the most part, guys, this is the way this tank looks, and I love watching it. I mean, these fish are just awesome. They're so much fun. Here. Come here, guys. Hey, guys. So, love watching them. You guys can see it's just kind of a mixed bag of different mbunas. I don't even know what they're all called anymore. My favorite are these right here, Acei, A-C-E-I. I love watching those things. They're just gorgeous fish. So, can't wait till they get bigger, and we'll see what's what. So in case you guys are wondering what this is sitting on, this is my fish rack. It's my planet tank. You guys got a glimpse of it earlier. This tank right here I use, it's my fry grow out tank. I've got neon tetra fry in there and a cara fry right now. It's my platy and molly tank. This one will be empty soon, selling these guys off as well as those. That tank there is empty for the moment, and I'll probably wind up doing some shrimp in a few of these. That's always been my quarantine, so I'll keep that in my quarantine. I'll probably do shrimp in these too. And as far as this one here, it's a 30 long that sits up here in my Madagascar. Rainbow's being a jerk. But I'm gonna have shell dwellers in here soon. I already got them on order. I'm super excited. Got that Pleco yesterday and he decided to rearrange my tank. Cool, whatever. You go, buddy. Anyway, guys, if you enjoy what we're doing, hit subscribe, hit the button right there. We got several projects, lots of things we do. Hang out with the boys for the most part, and they're in the other room right now. None of them were wanting to get on camera, so no boys on camera today. They will have to wait for another day. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate you. Talk to you later. Peace.